Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the wake up call with myself and Alex. It is March 5th, 2025. It is 9:15 Central Time, 10:15 Eastern Time. How's everyone feeling out of 10?
Out of 10, 6. On,
6 out
on,
of
on
10.
Monday, I said 5. So let's do
So
6 today.
we're making improvements and I'll take it. All right, let's get the show started. All right, it is the wake up call. If you've never seen the show before, we do the morning news analysis plus some wacky hot takes. So mostly wacky from me. All right. Of course, the Trump crypto summit is on Friday, and there's lots of weird and wacky hot takes for this. Some people are saying that Trump is going to add, XYZ coin. Some people are going to say that, all different takes. I'm hearing it all. I'm just excited to get it here and get it over with. What do you think?
I don't know what to think. I'm assuming that the market will pump based off of what is discussed at the crypto summit. I'll be very nervous if we see a big pump leading up to the crypto summit, and that would seem like an excellent opportunity to sell the news. But it's like these are on the short term. That's all noise. On a long enough timeline, this is certainly something that is a building block, and so I'll take it.
I would agree. If we start pumping today, all the way up until hours before we're at like 100K, I'm gonna be a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Um, in the short term, but in the long term, just like you said, I think it's a good thing. Actually, I'm gonna switch us to the bubbles. Um,
Whatever.
that way you can. There we go. All right. The Senate has overturned a rule requiring cryptocurrency platforms to report customer transactions to the IRS. What do you think about this?
Okay. So there is not a rule. There is no longer a rule that cryptocurrency platforms are going to report customer transaction to the IRS. Oh man, that's good for people who want to cheat on their taxes. I'm sorry to say, I don't know. I have no intention of cheating on my taxes, and so this is a moot point for me. I am not a tax professional. I will never give tax advice. I have even read large accounts saying, "Hey, you know what? Crypto is an amazing opportunity to cheat on your taxes." I am going to plead the fifth on that. If you are listening, big brother, I love paying taxes, man. I love it. So thank you so much for building roads and roads and more roads. So
I'm more of a libertarian, but I'm an ethical libertarian, and I believe in doing what is right. I pay my taxes, but I don't do anything illegal or immoral. But I think until personally, this is my personal opinion. Uh, until the government starts doing what they say and stops losing trillions of dollars every so often, I think you have somewhat of a moral obligation to legally, morally pay as little taxes as possible. Uh,
let me say something else in regards to this. When it comes time to do my taxes, I it's not like I go transaction by transaction. I just wing it. Okay. That's what I'll say. I try to pay my taxes, but okay.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. I think it's a good thing. Overall, let me say one more thing.
Okay.
I don't want Big Brother's thumb on me. I think taxes. Here's how I really think about it. It's like if we were doing really great things for our community, for our state, for doing a lot of things, I would pay. You know, I would be over generous about paying taxes, but
Sure.
because I like philanthropy and these type of things, and I like giving back and these things. But I also don't want Big Brother doing shakedowns either. So there's a
Yeah,
balance.
definitely.
All right. U.S. manufacturing PMI climbed to 52.7%. It was higher than expected, the highest since 2022. The growth fueled by rising output orders by tariff-driven cost inflation hit a 2-year high. Export demand in the weekend. So there was kind of a double whammy from, in my opinion, bringing us back from 94,000 when we had that initial pump from the crypto reserve news. This was the very next day. Trump announced that he was going to go forward with the tariffs, as well as the PMI manufacturing data came out worse than expected. So, what's your thoughts?
Okay, I'm confused. It came out worse than expected because we talked about this before going live. It came out worse than expected, but it climbed to its highest level since June of 2022. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Man, I don't know what to make of that. It's at its highest since June of 2022. So here's the thing. If any of you listen to Raoul Pal, very very big name, very smart man in the crypto space. The big thing that he focuses on in terms of whether he's a bull or a bear is PMI. And so to see PMI at its highest level since June of 2022, I would assume that that he maintains his bullish bias, and so he pays attention to that more. Like for me, I pay attention to more the economic environment in regards to interest rates, to quantitative tightening versus quantitative easing. His big thing is PMI. I think that he would look at this and say, "Hey, we're still good. We're good to go." But worse than expected. I don't know what to make of that.
I don't know what to make of it either. I'm not a fundamental analysis. I'm more of a technical, especially with Wyckoff on a bigger time frame. But I would say, just the first thing that came to my brain was the highest since June of 2022. Well, what
Yeah.
happened June of 2022?
I mean,
I would argue that was the selling climax of most of the market. Bitcoin went
that's
lower,
true.
but most of the altcoins, that was their bottom.
I'm curious about like where the Dow Jones was at in June of 2022. I'm assuming that was close to a bottom as well. So it was pretty
Yeah,
much the bottom.
right. So there you go.
Okay.
Yoga Labs, multiple cases closed with the SEC. We've kind of talked about this a little bit. Yoga Labs was the latest that Big Brother took their hand, bestowed their hand upon them, and let go. They let go the shackles. So Yoga Labs is, of course, like the NFT, Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and all that, but some other ones are that have either been let go or have been settled is OpenSea, Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken. They're expected to move forward with Tron. So lots of releasing of regulations, so to speak, with all of this. Now, the interesting thing, though, with all of the ones being let go and making progress, the one that has not made any progress is Ripple, which is really interesting, especially because it was deemed on the crypto reserve thing. So, what are your thoughts on that, Alex?
That is certainly the elephant in the room. It's like, what's the holdup? I mean, Ripple, from what I understand, what I remember, it was the first one to be hit by the SEC, and it's been more than 4 years. It's like, come on now, the market would respond very well to the Ripple lawsuit being dropped. Now, sure, it's good that all these other ones are happening, but these are all just little breadcrumbs and everything like that. And the Ripple one would be huge. Excuse me. So cool, good that they're dropping more cases against, I mean, they even dropped against Richard Hart, man. It's like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah, some of them. I mean, come on. No.
Yeah.
All right, let's play our favorite game, Bull or Bear.
Bull or bear?
Will HBAR be added to the crypto reserve on Friday? Bull or Bear, Alex?
I am bearish on that statement. Now, I really, people know me as a hater of H bar, and I just want to reiterate, I love H bar. It's one that, next time around in the bear market, I'll be buying a lot of H bar. I think that it makes sense for H bar to be added, and I would even say, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm going to say this, over Solana, it makes sense for H bar to be added, and yet Solana's already been added, at least according to Donald Trump. I have a hard time believing that H bar would be the sixth one that would enter the consciousness of the powers that be when it comes to crypto strategic reserves.
Yes. I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be added on Friday. I do think it's going to be the top. If there's going to be 10, it's going to be on the
I can see
10.
that. Yeah.
That's what I think. Now, who knows with Donald Trump? Like you mentioned earlier, like he is such a wild card. Like literally, who knows? Anything goes. It's all on the table, so it wouldn't shock me. I did make a video saying that H bar is one of my candidates. I would probably throw in like Link,
Yeah.
and H bar. There's a couple others that I could think of, but if and I made a video like the play is not to um like I don't think that XRP is that valuable here. I don't think that relatively over the next 12 months. That's what I mean. Like ROI value. That's what I'm talking about. XRP Army, please leave me alone. Uh, Ethereum, same thing. Same thing for Solana. Like they're going to go up, in my opinion, but they're not going to change your life. But where the play is, in my opinion, is if this really goes through the ecosystem of these
Yeah.
coins, and I think that H bar would be the same sort of thing if it were to be added.
Yes.
Bull or bear? Bitcoin will not make an all-time high in 2025.
I am a bear on that statement, which means I am a bull on Bitcoin. Just to be clear, okay. I am in the camp that believes that Bitcoin will make an all-time high in 2025. You guys know, if you know anything about my content, that I am a bear for the end of 2025. So I think it has to happen soon. Yes, I believe Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high in 2025. And I will say one other thing in that regard. I believe that whatever Bitcoin's high in 2025 is, that it'll go higher in either 2026 or 2027, which is a much more bold statement than saying that it will hit an all-time high in 2025.
That is a bold statement. I am a bull that Bitcoin makes an all-time high. I think it's going to be in the next. Like I thought it was going to be in February, but I definitely think it's going to be in March.
All right, let's do it.
All right, bull or bear? XRP will flip Ethereum's market cap.
Whew. Okay, I lean. Well, no, I'm a bear on that statement. I was going to say I lean towards the idea that that Ethereum will hold as the number two. We've talked about sentiment with Ethereum just being way down. I read somewhere. I haven't been able to verify this, but the hacker who sold, who stole the $1.4 billion of Ethereum from Binance, all the selling pressure from that is gone. They managed to sell all of it. And so I think we've overreacted even more so with Ethereum. And perhaps it got down to $2,003 yesterday. Perhaps that was the bottom for Ethereum. I mean, we'll see. And so I think Ethereum's a bigger market cap than XRP now. I think it has the potential to outperform XRP from here. So,
yes. And we're going to talk about the charts later in the show, but I'll just tell you, like, my synopsis is like, I'm open-minded for Bitcoin up or down. I'm leaning bull, but I've held that I think that the altcoins have bottomed. And I think that is true. And I would agree with Alex's statement that Ethereum has bottomed. Now, I will say they're closer than you might think. Like Ethereum's market cap, I believe, is around 200 billion right now, and XRP's is 150 billion. So it's within striking distance.
Yeah.
However, if you ask me, like this bull market, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Ethereum holds to number two by a thread for the entire rest of 2025, 2026, all that. But I think that eventually something takes it down. Is it going to be XRP? Maybe. I think it's just as good of a candidate as any, but I don't think it's going to happen this year for sure.
Yeah.
All right, overrated or underrated? XRP as the global payment system. Overrated, underrated?
Overrated, super overrated. I'm sorry, XRP Army. Like, XRP can carve out a niche in institutional banking. It's not going to be used as a global payment. That's overrated. I was about to say I'm a bear, but it's overrated.
It's so overrated. He's a bear on that statement. Yeah, I agree. I think it's super overrated. I think the XRP, listen, I really like XRP. It was my second biggest bag. It's still my second biggest bag. Okay, so I'm a believer in the technology. I'm a believer in XRP. I'm a believer in the growth potential. I'm a believer in it in 20 years. But where the XRP army loses the plot, in my opinion, is they get this weird elitist mindset of like dystopian future of the only way that our market cap makes sense is if everything else is banned and goes to Hades, but XRP is the one that rises from the ashes and you only have to use this or Big Brother will not let you eat or drink. And listen, I don't want to live in that world. Okay, that's a scary world to me, and
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for dystopian society, and I don't think it's going to happen anyway because I think that the amazing part about crypto is we don't have a true proper free market capitalism where the market actually decides. They call it free market capitalism in a lot of places, but in cryptocurrency, the market truly decides what's best. And I think that I'm rooting for that to exist. So yes, I think that is super overrated.
Let's go.
Overrated, underrated hardware wallets.
The hard WAR wallet is super overrated. Hard WARE wallet is properly rated. I'm not going to say overrated or underrated. I have been. It's controversial for me to say this, but I actually don't have a hardware wallet. Forgive me, I don't have one, and I know I should have one,
Shame.
but I
Shame.
will, eventually. So
Shame.
properly rated.
Shame.
Yes, shame. I'm so sorry.
Shame.
I'm sorry. Forgive
Shame.
me. Okay.
All
Anyway,
right. I think they're underrated, personally. And I've said this before, and I'm going to shame you again. I think if you have $100 in crypto, your next $100 purchase should be a hardware wallet. That's my opinions. So underrated. All right, underrated, overrated. Pi.
super overrated.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
all I'll say.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, this idea that I am a miner. I know the computational power that is required. This idea that Pi is taking your phone and mining algorithms. They're not. They're mining your data. And if you're okay with selling them your data, that's one thing. But like, don't get it twisted with, hey, they're, like they got your social, they got where you live, they got your buying habits. If you're okay selling them that stuff, that's fine. I'm okay with you like freely doing that. But this idea that they're like solving Bitcoin's algorithm with your phone is ridiculous.
Yes.
All right, it's time for the charts and coffee. People have been saying about Solnic. Real quick, I'll flip it to you.
Go for it.
But I just want to say, listen, I haven't even looked at the charts today for Solnic because that is my confidence. And I would say that we have secured the largest partnership that exists outside of Trump and Elon. So it's like Trump, Elon, and then the next biggest person, that's who is going to be marketing for Solnic. So if people want to sell the bottom, somebody has to do it. That's my opinions.
Yep. I'm not even a little bit worried about Solnic. I mean, so what? Lots of things are down. We know where we're going, both he and Solnic, when the time to strike comes, and I'm very excited about that. So, okay, excuse me. Here's the actually I'm on the total 2 chart right now. I'm I'm feeling like I'm thinking that, excuse me, I'm very close to deploying my stable coins, but not quite yet. Here's the big thing I want to talk about. Coin. What if we had this big sell off with the tariffs, leading into tariff day, which was yesterday. And I posted this on my X account yesterday morning before the stock market opened. And I was just openly wondering, like, what if that was the, sell the fear and buy the event kind of thing. And I opened along. We saw Bitcoin go right under the 200-day moving average, and I do want to stress, I focus on the simple moving average for the 200-day. So the simple moving average, it wicked under the 200-day simple moving average. I opened along, and I'm still in that long. I opened along at 80. I want to say 82,000. No, $81,800. I think that's what it was. And I'm still in the long. I'm up on that long. I'm happy about that. Maybe that was the buy the news event. Now, I just an observation. The DXY very much looks like it's either in distribution. It certainly looks like distribution, or worst case scenario, this is the spring event on the DXY. But that, you can see a clear head and shoulders pattern that has formed. I know, do we talk about head and shoulders being super whatever? More of the time it breaks to the downside, but the DXY is looking really in our favor right now for risk on activity, regardless of how much you love or hate the DXY. So my plan is short term soon. I've debated between Total 2 and Total 3. Total 3 certainly looks better than Total 2. Total 3 looks like it's ready to break through its downtrend. Total 2, it looks like, because we have Ethereum in Total 2, it looks like it's lagging behind a little bit. I have decided to wait with my stable coins to buy back in until we see a break through the downtrend with a higher high on the total altcoin market cap. That's just me, but I am thinking that I'm going to redeploy very soon. And then from there.
But I thought yesterday someone said that you flipped full on bearish. What's the deal, Alex?
Who said that? I have no idea who said that.
I don't know. They were saying that in my live. They were like, Alex said it's over. I'm like, okay.
I have been very agnostic. I mean, listen, I am open to the possibility that it's over. But I just got on a one-on-one call with somebody today, and I told him, here's the deal with me right now. I am eagerly waiting to buy, and I think it's going to happen soon. And then I'm just going to let the market lead me. So whatever the case, if it's over, I think what happens next is at least a retrace, a move higher. And I'm going to ride that retrace higher. But I lean towards this idea that we are going to put in new all-time highs in the Total 2 market cap, total altcoin market cap, Total 3. Well, I mean, really new all-time highs in altcoins and in Bitcoin. And so whatever the case, I'm a buyer. Whether it's over or whether or not, I am going to be a buyer very soon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, listen. So I'm going to say a couple things. I don't know if I cut you off in your train of thought there, but I'm going to pull up the DXY. To me, the line in the sand, we've already gotten it a little bit. Or we're cracking through the armor, so to speak, for the DXY, which we need this to happen. It's sort of like, and I talked about this in the video, because of the manufacturing data plus the DXY plus the stock market plus Bitcoin. All of them were crashing at the same time. And I said, one of them is lying, because that's not how it goes.
yeah.
And the way that things have been, like, this has been in a perpetual downtrend since January, and it's now cracking below the 200. Now, what I would like to see is daily body closes below the 200 exponential moving average, which is about 105.6. That is sort of the macro line in the sand. Anytime we get below that number, that is risk on assets. So we will see. But when we look at, I mean, it's starting to get a little bit oversold, but it's not crazy at this point. I could see a dead cat bounce to the 618, even if we are going to roll over back up to 107 or something like that. But things are looking good for the DXY. For Bitcoin, I've already talked about it for the altcoins too. I think the altcoins have bottomed. I think they bottomed like weeks ago, especially the total three, like Alex was mentioning. But I'm definitely leaning strong towards that Bitcoin has bottomed as well. I'm a little bit more open minded to Bitcoin going down. And I'll tell you, like, here's the line in the sand for me. 88,000 is what I talked about, which we're already at right now. We hit 93,000. And I wanted to see a macro, and we immediately got rejected and came back to 81.5. So still, I want to see us above 93,000 in the next like week or so. But I want to see a daily body above 88,000, and that would signify a move up to 100,000, which would be getting above 95,000. If we start getting below 80,000, I think we're going to visit $75,000 for Bitcoin. Either way we go, even if this is a crazy thing I'm about to say, listen, are you ready? Even if Bitcoin goes to 75,000, I still think that the altcoins have bottomed, because that's where I think we are shifting into. I'm leaning way more towards Bitcoin getting to the next leg higher. When I was preparing the video yesterday, Bitcoin was at 82,000 and I had these numbers drawn out, and it was already at 86,000 by the time I even uploaded the video. So there you go. That's my thoughts. The total 2, the total 3 is looking good. The total 3, I agree with Alex, looking better than the total 2. And that's just probably because Ethereum was so grossly oversold with a lot of the big bag scary events that have been taking place. So I'm really encouraged with the market. I haven't left my bullish sentiment this whole time. And I think that we perhaps have a pretty good setup. But yeah, well, I'm going to let the market lead me.
Sure. Yeah. Man, sorry.
Yeah.
Again, so I saw a comment on TikTok here. I just want to respond to it. He said short term he would rather short. That is that's me. That's me right now. I am shorting more than I'm longing, and then that may be very soon that I switch to longing more than I'm shorting, because as of right now we are still in a downtrend. Well, shoot, you know what I mean. You could make the argument with the altcoins that we're no longer in a downtrend. We're at a point of where we may soon flip very bullish, given the fact that there are higher lows that have been established. But
yeah, we're waiting for a higher high, in my opinion. So I think that that's true for the altcoins and for Bitcoin, that we're starting to make higher lows. And what we're waiting for now is a higher high to really confirm an uptrend or a reversal for both of them.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for that. I'm very hopeful about that possibility short term. But I have been doing well. I'm sorry to say, I have been doing well shorting more than longing. But then I did open a long yesterday on Bitcoin at the 200-day moving average. So
there you go. That was a good play. Because what was that, like 84, 83?
It was under 83. I think it was actually under 82 that I opened the long. I don't remember. It was either under 83 or under 82. I don't remember, but very close.
Are there any coins that I should absolutely not have in my portfolio? I'm willing to bet that you probably have at least one thing that shouldn't be there. Yeah. And here's the criteria that I look for personally. Feel free to steal my methodology. I look for coins that have a lot of support. I look for coins that, meaning like there's a long, boring period. That's just a simple way of putting it without being a TA nerd. And I look for coins that have low to no inflation or are actually developing. And the low to no inflation is the tricky one, because there's a lot of really awesome projects that have a lot of inflation. And guess what? Price equals supply plus demand. If the supply is inflating, guess what? You're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah. So examples of that. that. I mean, somebody asked, is Gala one of them? Gala is very highly inflationary. Now, I mean, I actually, of the highly inflationary ones, the older cryptocurrencies look like better plays right now because they at least have some levels of support. And so the big ones that I would have on my radar as like, do not touch these anytime soon, would be newer cryptocurrencies that are highly inflationary. So, off the top of my head, I mean, we've talked about SUI. I mean, I could see SUI doing fine, but, it's not that I'm saying don't touch SUI, but just understand SUI is very highly inflationary. There's some other, a lot of Celestia is one that just, if and when there's a reversal in Celestia, it will be long after any reversal in the large, the dinosaurs, if you want to call them that. There's plenty of other ones too. Casper, yeah, definitely Casper. I wouldn't touch that.
That's not really a new one, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the SUI market cap. It's kind of a tricky one. There is a lot of inflation, but it's still on a downtrend, and it's crossed the 200 exponential moving average.
Yeah.
So
and the SMA. So I have it on my screen here. It's just, I took some notes in a trading journal. I don't remember what I think I did put, like, I might be interested in buying SUI again around a little under $2. There's several levels of support that I'm looking at on my chart here. So
yeah, I'm sort of impartial. I've been bearish on SUI since November of 2024. I started being super bearish on SUI, and I've been bearish the entire time. I missed another 20%. Oh no, which I'm going to do with almost everything. Spoiler alert, but I'm not ready to flip bullish on it, but I think it's definitely a better play than it was in November.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think what else, but I mean, I don't know. Just going to keep looking here.
What's your view on Pepe recovering 50%?
Pepe. So, yeah, I remember some notes that I made. Again, it looks disgusting. I mean, the chart looks terrible. I've noticed that Pepe does well when Ethereum does well. So, if you want, if you're bullish on Ethereum, maybe you should be bullish on Pepe. Pepe, zero inflation, very, very slightly deflationary. But I'm not gonna catch a falling knife on this. There's no way. Now, assuming, like, let's say we see a new all-time high in Bitcoin in March, as Devin says, then Pepe for sure 50%, yes, and more than that.
It's definitely, like, you would want to wait. Like, at best case scenario, Pepe. So I have it up on my chart. I'm looking at the market cap. Best case scenario for Pepe is this is the selling climax. But even if that were the case, I'm not anticipating after a stark move like this that you just get a V bottom. Like, best case, you're going to be boring for a little bit. That's the best case scenario. And you're at a lot of support. So I could, you can make an argument for that. But I would want to see, like, starting to break this downtrend for sure. But I mean, even to the 0.5, which I think is a pretty reasonable move, that would take you to 7 billion. That's a 1x. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Do you think that Rose could get to $1? VeChain could get to 40 cents.
VeChain, no. I don't think VeChain's getting to 40 cents. I remember, so when I made my price target video in early 2024 on VeChain, my price target was 33 cents. I think that's like absolute best case scenario. And if VeChain were to get to 33 cents, I'd be mostly out by like 10 cents. I'll take that 5x or whatever it is right now. Rose to $1. I know your target, Devin, is what, 36 cents on Rose.
38 cents is my retracement, and then $1 is price discovery.
So under ideal conditions, could Rose get to $1? I would agree. Price discovery, yeah, it could. my money would be on no, that it's not getting to $1.
So my low, medium, high for I'm more bullish on VeChain than Alex. My low, medium, high for VeChain is 20 cents, 40 cents medium, and then 69 cents is like absolute parabolic. So there you go.
Yeah. Please let Devin be right. That sounds great. Low inflation.
Low inflation. Real world asset. Partners with the UFC. Partners with Walmart. So there you go. I think they're partnered with Amazon too, but I know they're partnered with Walmart.
Oh yeah, for sure. Walmart. They've been partnered with Walmart since 2021 at least.
Yeah. So I'm bullish on VeChain. VeChain is one of the coins that I feel comfortable holding for. I feel comfortable holding for 10 years. So
yeah, we talked about this I think on Monday. If I were to be a bag holder of VeChain and I was forced to not sell it or something like that, I'd be very comfortable.
I don't feel that way about a lot of coins. But
yeah,
there's maybe 20 where I'm like, whatever. VeChain would be on that list. Solnik and Hehe would be on that list. I just realized we don't have the music today. I'm slacking. Let's get this music going. You can read some of your comments.
Yeah, let's see. Pendle and Pinlink. I don't have a rating to. I can easily pull it up. Pendle is doing this weird thing where it looks like it has been ready to break the downtrend, but then it just keeps on backtesting the downtrend line and has a couple higher highs. This is generally what I look for entries. I can't recommend that yet. Aside to say that it's pretty close to its August bottom, so maybe we're going to see what soon. And then Pinlink. I don't want to try to pull up the Pinlink chart. Let me look at STX here and see 1 cent. Yeah, no thanks. As of right now, this looks ugly. There's just no end in sight. Now, just like Pepe, it looks like there's some support previous, in 2023, and we're back down to 2023 levels with stacks. Just like LCX, or sorry, not LCX. Pepe, same deal that Devin was saying. Maybe there's going to be before it recovers, there will be some kind of a chop. And I think STX is pretty inflationary too. I don't remember. Do you remember?
I don't remember. No, I don't know if it's inflationary or not. Someone asked me, do you think selling pressure will let up since talk of tariffs are done and they are here? I do think that that's real. That a narrative can only last so long. It can only push you so high and it can only push you so low before people are just now used to it. Right. Even like the threat, the imminent threat of World War III with the war in Israel kicking off and the war in Ukraine kicking off. That World War III threat was only there for so long before people are just like, okay, yeah, maybe we do it. Or the market is just like, okay, whatever. And it just gets used to this idea. And I was watching the Trump whatever thing last night, or I was streaming it, and he said tariffs, 76 times, it seemed like. So, and I think that's kind of getting here where it's people are becoming used to the idea that, yeah, it is going to be happening. I do think generally the market is way oversold at this point.
Yeah.
Do you finally feel like we found a bottom? I don't think we're out of the woods for Bitcoin. I do think that the altcoins have bottomed. I'm more leaning towards yes, but yes, that is my sentiment.
I'm with you on that.
Bitcoin, I want to see it close above 95 to like confirm that yes, that is. I don't think that it's necessarily out of the woods, but for the altcoins, I think that they have bottomed. Yes.
Got a question about Render. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me say something real quick. I made a couple videos talking about White Rock, and it did very well. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I think it's topped. I don't think it's. I think you should sell all of it. I'm dead serious. Just not financial advice. If you bought White Rock, you're up. Congrats. Sell it. Sell, please. Sell. Okay.
There you go. If you bought White Rock, take profit. For the love of God, redeem. Redeem. Do you guys think that our drum can get to $5?
It's possible. I mean, both of us are kind of down on Arrow.
Arrow's one of the new
Because
like
of-
inflationary coins, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Super inflationary. You know, and so it's at 58 cents now. Could it do a 9x or something? Sure. Anyone, I've heard some wild price targets on Arrow, and you need to temper your expectations, especially the longer this goes, because of their tokenomics.
Yeah. I think $4, $3 to $4 is more reasonable, but I'm not mad. I'm not going to scoff at you for a $5 target. You know,
Yeah.
I think that that's within the realm of euphoria, so to speak. Now, I don't think it's going to live there. If you get $5, you better have your limit orders in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What are your price targets for Polygon and Theta?
Oh man, I don't remember.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Theta is like, I think it's in the $30 target. I could pull it up. Polygon is $5 for me. And absolute euphoria would be $9. I do see, I made a video about this talking about sort of front running the crypto reserve and like how, you know, I'm going to touch on this a little bit, but you know, Ethereum is added, XRP is added, Solana is added, right? ADA is added. Out of all of these, like they're going to be fine. Like I think XRP gets to $5. That's great compared to the stock market. I think that Ethereum gets to $7,000. That's great compared to the stock market. I think that Solana gets to $500. That's great compared to the stock market, right? But this isn't going to change your life. But where I think that the play perhaps could be is deep diving and researching into the ecosystems of these coins, as in rising tides floats all ships. So that to me is the play right now. And I think a potential play for Ethereum could be the layer twos. Someone mentioned Dent as well, and I do like Dent as a play. All the inflation is done on Dent.
Yeah. Man, Polygon, it's just I think like absolute best case scenario, my price target was $7.86. I'm just like, my goodness, Polygon. Given, you know, Polygon had a strong, what was it, 2022 or 2023?
Yes.
That Polygon was amazing.
That's right.
And now it's at 25 cents. I think that's lower than where it was at the bottom of the bear market of 2022.
So Polygon is kind of like it's kind of like Quant. When actually it was pumping, I think it did a 4x the same time that Quant did a 4.5x. So yeah, the chart doesn't look great on Polygon. And I think there's a little bit of inflation on Polygon as well. So yeah, we'll have to, we want to see it break a downtrend, but yeah, that's anyways, yeah. I don't like the chart on Polygon.
Oh yeah. I mean, right now it looks terrible, and you know, let's see some kind of reversal here. I want to answer a question here. Can Aave be part of the U.S. reserves? I don't know, but here's the deal. I wouldn't bet against, if you were to make a list of a top 20, I would think Aave would be in that, and I'm open to the idea of just buying small, you know, a few $100 worth of every potential crypto that could be named on Friday or something like that, you know, and just seeing what happens. So
someone asked me, I assume they're asking about Sonic or Solnic. I mean, because they said Sonic. They might be
Yeah.
asking about Phantom though. So I'll get both.
Yeah.
I'll get both. My view, but
All
they
right.
said, "What's your view on Sonic?" I'll do Phantom and Sonic because I'm not sure. My view on Sonic over the next 2 months that is not my view. That's not my time horizon at all. My time horizon is 2 decades.
Mm.
But over the next 2 months, we will be listed on Google. We should be making progress on our stablecoin and our DeFi application, and we will be securing one of the biggest partnerships that exists. Now, if you're asking my view on Phantom, I don't mind the Phantom chart at all. I think it is a decent play.
Yeah. I pulled up. I pulled up the link chart. That seems like a good possibility. You know, if there's something new listed on Friday, you know, I see a comment. I think Chainlink will be announced on Friday. I could see that.
Yeah.
So I actually might buy a decent amount of Chainlink after this live
Yeah.
stream.
Chainlink's in my kids' portfolio. I've talked about that. So that means it's a 20-year play for
Mhm.
me, or 10 years at least. I think my oldest, it's an 8-year play. uh, Anyway, price on ICP 50 to 100. I think that's reasonable. 38 is my retracement number, and 100 is my price discovery number.
Yeah, things go crazy. ICP could get hot. I don't think it's going over 100.
Yeah, maximum is 140 for me, but this idea that it's going to make an
Okay.
all-time high, I think is not. It's not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Thoughts on XNO?
Oh my goodness. I haven't thought about Nano since 2021, man, and even then, XNO. I mean, it performed terribly in 2021. So, what do we make of it? I mean, this chart doesn't look as bad as a lot of other charts. I'll say that, at least on a shorter time frame. But it has a long way to go even to reach its 2021 peak.
Mm.
So, you know, I mean, the retrace. Can we get a retrace on
I got to
this?
be honest.
It seems like, yeah,
I'm more of a macro.
you love this
I
chart.
love this chart, but I don't know what the inflation
Yeah,
is. I don't know what the inflation is.
I think it's zero. I'm pretty sure it's zero.
I this is a I think this is a pretty good risk to reward. You have, multiple years of accumulation. You have your sign of strength, your back test reaccumulation, and then you have your higher high, and then it's making higher lows at the same time. I gotta be honest, this chart looks pretty
Yeah,
damn good to me.
I'm feeling similar, like zooming out and then seeing just recent price action here. Like it's not terrible when you compare it to other altcoins.
In the
So
micro, it has more work to do. In the macro, I think the setup is there. That's what I'll say.
yeah, we're talking about Nano. Somebody asked which crypto.
XEN. Yeah. So I personally, for me, I'm a Wyckoff. That's my bread and butter. And when I'll pull this up. So this is like what I look for just over and over and over again, because all it really measures is supply and demand, and it measures the human psychology. That's really all it does. Um, and when you see the structure, what it kind of shows you is that a bottom is in, and that's what I would say is the structure for XEN. And a lot of altcoins look like this, where you have your markdown. We call that a bear market. And then you have your accumulation. You start to get your sign of strength and your back test. Once you get in here, like, as long as there's no inflation, right? That's inflation is the death of a bull run. As long as there's no inflation, you might have a little bit of chop, but after that, the next phase, from a technical perspective, is the Mark E, which the Mark E is your markup phase. So I'm personally looking for charts like this with like XNO with low to no inflation. Now, the problem with Wyckoff is it's more macro, and if you're cool just hanging out DCAing, then it's the
Yeah,
strategy. If you want gains tomorrow, And, doing these micro scalp trades, I don't think that Wyckoff is good for that.
100%. So just to be clear, at least, especially for those talking about asking on TikTok, the ticker is XNO, not XCN. So I saw people type in XCN.
XCN.
It's XNO.
Okay, so XCN is a good example of I'll pull that up. So
okay,
XCN is a good example. Like, it's already done the phases, what I was talking about, but it already did the mark up, in my opinion. Right? So let me pull this up real quick. I think this is. So when we zoom in, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So when we zoom in,
yeah.
like if you were to overlay this with, it doesn't even matter the coin. I'm less interested in the coin and just more in the structure and the inflation, right? So if you were to zoom in on XCN, this is a very, very similar structure of just like markdown, like you have just a death, right? And then you have the death, and then you're just chopping and boring forever. And then you even have like these two peaks. XCN actually went lower on the second peak, but it only retraced too. It didn't even retrace. It went to the 236 technically. But it was such a crazy move because of, anyways. But yeah, this is the same structure to me. And this is the same structure that I'm looking for to me. And you got some more work to do. And what you can kind of see is the finality of it before you really start to go is you start making higher lows and higher highs. And that's sort of like the finality of it. And I think all stipulations in the micro or in the macro have been done. We just want to start to see like an uptrend out of this to really kick things off. So this is I think this is a pretty good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm telling you guys right now, I mean, I have been saying that I was going to wait for a for sure reversal in the total altcoin market cap. But I mean, looking at this chart, I'm most likely going to buy Chainlink and XNO after this live stream. I'm going to be patient with
So
those.
someone asked me, I want to clarify on TikTok. So if inflation happens, bull run in, no, that's not what we're not talking about the US dollar. When I'm speaking on inflation, what I'm talking about is the tokenomics of a coin, meaning is this particular coin inflating their supply? Are they dumping more supply? If they are, that price equals supply plus demand. So if the supply is increasing, that's just economics 101. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get a parabolic run if you're battling with inflation.
That's right.
Webb says XNO 7x just to retrace to the 0.5. And I think almost like a high percentage of coins will retrace if there's not a crazy amount of inflation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think it did that in 2021, but it could happen. It could certainly happen. Like I wish you have the same issue on TradingView. It's not showing the 2018 peak.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that XNO, right? Let me find a better chart.
XNO, yes. White Rock Thoughts, sell all of it. I'm dead serious. Sell all of it. I already talked about that, but
KuCoin was around in 2018, right? No.
I'm on Coin Market Cap. So whoever gets there first, let's.
If it's on Coin Market Cap, we could just guess, I guess. You got it?
Yeah, I have it on CoinMarket.com. So let me.
You got to share your other screen.
Yeah, there it is. So, I mean, it got up to $30 in 2018. My goodness, what's that?
That's pretty close to the 0.5.
I mean,
that might be the 3.2 or the point. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Whatever,
so
I
it
mean,
got up
whatever
to
the case.
$30. What did it get to in 2021?
I mean, according to CoinMarketCap, at least, a little over $10.
Okay, so the 382, not a full on retracement, but pretty close.
Sure. I mean, I'd be happy with a 382 retrace this time. That's a
Would
5x.
you look at market cap
Yeah.
on the all time frame? Because I'd be interested to see. Okay, so there wasn't. Okay, so it only did the 382. Okay, there you go. Even a 382 though, 5x.
Sounds great. Let's do it. It's funny. At this point in time, I think a lot of people would be ecstatic with a 5x in some dinosaur crypto. Whereas in 2023, I remember criticizing this video talking about VeChain going to $1 because it not necessarily, do I think that VeChain is going to $1? I do not. And I did not in 2023. But this person was saying, hey, you know what? You buy $1,000 of VeChain at this price. Let me pull up my calculator. Here's how much that's going to be when VeChain hits $1. And fortunately, a lot of people are out of that mindset right now, and we're more content with XNO doing a 5x
Until it does a 5x.
until that happens. Yeah. I see a comment on YouTube here. XNO is a $100 coin. IMO. Okay, so an 80x or something like that. All right.
Yeah, until it does it, and then we're gonna move the goalpost and say, like, I can't believe how bearish you are, and
right.
they're going to send the torches to our houses, and yeah. Yeah, it's all good until we actually do it, and then everyone moves the goalpost, and they decide, you know what? I didn't actually want to pay off my car. I needed a boat and pay off my house too. So that's the issue.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone said, Ski, maybe you were right again. Ha 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 ha. Maybe. Listen, I'm gonna tell you my weakness. I think they're talking about like the spring. I assume. I'm gonna tell you my weakness is I see stuff painfully in advance and I move off of it sometimes when I shouldn't. Mm-hmm. I've done that multiple times.
All right. What's
where
next?
do we post Whale Solnic info? What do you mean? Are you asking?
You can see Whale Solnic info on techscreener.com.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he's talking about like the whale chat or what he's talking about.
Somebody asked earlier about a render price target. Do you have a render price target?
I think it's $20 off the top of my head. Parabolic.
Okay. Yeah. So there's one again, Bitcoin dominance to 40% or something like that. My target's 35. And render is improving their tokenomics, but it's pretty highly inflationary. So you got to be careful with that. And, back down to its 2024 bottom, but still very heavily, people who bought in the bear market, if they're still holding, they're still in profit. So be careful short term with render.
It's on top of a lot of support. I don't mind the chart. $20 to $30. So 20 is price discovery, 30 is parabolic. But I think yeah, we got to get like a 40% dominance for that. Someone said for the partnership info, listen, if you're asking me where you can find it, you can find it /whale in the Telegram, prove that you're a whale, and then it is there. If you're asking me where you should share it with everyone else, you should not, because there's an adjective called with Solnic called cuxing, which is we had someone who would trade me being transparent with everyone and trying to be as transparent and honest as and communicate the best that I could with everyone, and then they would trade against the Solnic community. And I'm not going to do that again. So the people that need to know can know, and everyone else will know when the time is right. Because I'm not going to deal with people trading against my own community. I'm not going to aid that in any way possible.
I see a question here. Chainlink did a 15% move up today. Shouldn't we wait? And sure, if you want to wait, sure. You want to DCA into Chainlink, dare I say it? I'm not a fan of DCAing, but if maybe just nibble away at it,
Gaspin trader.
then yeah.
Gaspin leverage trading.
What's the negative with White Rock? I wouldn't say it's just a negative. It's peaked. I'm convinced that it's peaked. And I'm sorry to be vague here. Somebody called me yesterday and gave me some information that caused me to have some cause for concern. Okay, and I don't know if there's no way I can verify the information that person called me about, and that's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you're in profit on White Rock if you bought.
Well,
Sell.
I mean, just looking at the chart, I mean, it's done a 10x in 17 days.
Sell.
You know what I mean? That's really all the information you need. This is not a chart that I'm buying. Period. It did a what was this percentage? This is the same sort of move that I mean, if you count this wick, it's even different. But I'll just count from the body to the top here is a 14x. That's a lifetime of stock market gains. And my rule of thumb is anytime you want X, take 10% off the table. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that I need to see. Whether the rumors are true or not, that's all I need to see about the chart is just a straight line up like that. I don't like definitely take profit on those.
Yeah. Like I don't want to get into specifics with that because I don't know if this random person who called me yesterday, if what he told me is true. I'm just like, I see a chart like that and I'm like, oh, you better believe I'm selling, and I'm selling a large majority of it. You got anything?
Someone says, I'm down 50% on altcoins since December. You think it's wise to swap them to Chainlink, hoping they announce it Friday? I don't think it depends on like your coins. I don't know what your coins are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's a very specific answer for a very vague question. But I can give you vague advice. I don't think selling out of fear is a good idea.
That's right.
I mean, if you're already down 50%, is as long as the coins have low to no inflation, I would probably ride with that.
I agree 100%. That question in particular is a frustrating question to answer because I'm just going to remind you guys, I was getting those questions. I'm sure Devin was too about XRP on November 4th. Should I sell my XRP? It's not doing anything. And then what did we see over the next month? We saw XRP do exactly what both Devin and I thought it would do. And Devin had a lot more XRP than I did, but I did very well with my XRP. And then I sold it, and Devin sold 40% at $3.33. And it's like the most of the time when somebody asks a question like that, it's the answer is no.
Yes. What was the quote you gave us about Warren Buffett about the patience?
Oh yeah, it's something about like wealth is transferred from the impatient to the patient.
So there you go. If you would like to transfer your wealth by being impatient, then that's what you should do. Now, if you want to, be specific and we could set up something like that. But as far as general vague advice, I think it's a bad idea to sell out of fear and out of boredom. In fact, I would argue that many more times than not, that's how you're going to get wrong-footed. If you wanted to DCA into Chainlink and make a position, like, okay, I'll hear you on that. But if you have some nonsense coin that you don't believe in, like whatever meme coin that's just dead, okay, that's fine too. But If you're holding like fundamental coins with low inflation, I don't think that that's a good idea.
I've gotten multiple questions about WIF. Is it dead? It's not dead. It's it's a meme coin. It's struggling like a lot of other meme coins. It actually is starting to put in some higher highs and higher lows. It's been pretty flat lately. If you bought WIF 2 weeks ago, you are most likely not down on that. So we'll see, but I wouldn't be selling WIF at this level. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Someone asked me or the WIF is another one. I've been bearish on WIF since November. So if people think I'm just like a perma bull, like I'm not. I was bearish on XRP at $3. I'll tell you that. Like I was bearish before it hit it. I was bearish when it hit it. I was bearish after it hit it. And people thought I was crazy. I've been bearish on WIF since November. I've been bearish on SUI since November. I was bearish on XEN after it did a 20x. I was bearish on I've been bearish on Turbo since November. I've been bearish on what was the other one that was Landwolf since November. Like I called the top on that one like on the day, and I was like, if you were my brother, I would tell you to take profit. I kept screaming that because it was at the 3618. It was showing clear signs of distribution. Anyways, I'm not a perma bull, guys. I promise. I will be bearish.
And I'm not a perma bear.
Yeah, I'm going to be bearish. Listen, there's going to be a time when I become bearish and you're going to be pissed at me. But that time's not today. And it's a coin by coin basis too.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I started a trading journal. It's for members on my YouTube channel and for subscribers on TikTok. And there are coins, even though the altcoin market, even though we've been in a downtrend and maybe we'll see a reversal soon, there are coins that I'm like, these look like really good to buy. They're really good coins to buy. So anyway,
Penlink. That's another coin.
Can you pull up a Penlink chart?
Because I was about to speak. Penlink is another one. I promise you, I said it. I said these very words. If you were my brother, I would tell you to take profit on Penlink, because this is the chart when people were asking me about Penlink. This is when people were asking me about Penlink. And I was like, for the love of God, take profit. Take profit. So this, again, November. So where is November? November is right here. Right here is where November is. After it did a 43x. So let's see what I missed. I missed it. You missed it, Ski. You missed another 1x.
You were so wrong,
I was so wrong. But every day from late November into December, I was saying to take profit on Penlink. And then it started crashing like crazy. Now, at this point, I would say that Penlink is not a terrible chart. I mean, it's broken the downtrend, and it's making higher lows and higher highs.
Yeah, that looks good.
That looks good to me.
So here's just some insight as to like my mindset with Penlink. Is I bought Penlink at a $30 million market cap, I think, and it got up. I took profits along the way. It got up to 400 million. And when it came time for me to sell, like I said over and over again, I went 40% into stable coins in December. What was I selling? I was selling the cryptos that I was up big on. And so I sold all of my Penlink. I didn't sell it all in December, but I was out of it by January. And I sold all of my Eagle AI. I was up really big on Eagle AI. Those are the ones that I sold, not the ones that I was down big on, because I didn't want to. Those were more likely to come back. And you look at the Penlink chart. I mean, that was the right play for me.
Yeah, and I'll say too, like in hindsight too, just going live and having everyone ask me about their coins, people probably would have thought I was a bear from November through now on a lot of coins, because a lot of the coins that I was getting asked about were coins like this that had already done a crazy amount. And I kept being like, take profit, take profit, take profit on all these coins. The coins where I was bullish on and still are, too early, I'll admit, is the dinosaur coins. But like stuff like this, like
Yeah.
man, I promise, like there's video evidence of me screaming, take profit. And there were so many examples of coins that did a crazy move like this. Like anytime you 20x, like you need to put it in perspective. This is 3 lifetimes worth of stock market gains. This is your life, your kid's life, and your grandkids' life of their entire workforce career of stock market gains. That's what it did in a month or whatever it is. That's the perspective you need to have.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an easy one, and it gets exhausting because whenever a coin does what Pinlink does during our live streams, every other question is going to be
Yes.
about Pinlink or about that coin, and you want to buy, and it's the easiest thing in the world for us to tell you, don't buy, to sell, you know. So, and maybe we'll be a little too early, and you'll come in the next couple of days and be like, "You were so wrong about Pinlink." I got that with XCN. I didn't love XCN a little too early, and oh no, I'm so sorry for telling you, for urging caution with XCN, and then it did a huge spike. You know, it did a spike after that, and
Yeah, XCN for me too.
now I'm wrong.
Right, XCN for me too. I was bullish before it took off on XCN. It was on my list. Um, and then it went to 2. I flipped to bearish 2.5 cents, and I said maybe it gets to 4.5 cents. In a crazy world, it might get to 6.5 cents. But for the love of God, take profit now. Start taking profit.
Yeah,
And it went to 4.5 cents. And when it was at 4.5 cents, I know I was like, this is it. Like, that's it. Like, we have all the signs here. You don't do a 20x in 10 days. That's not real. So yeah, I mean, I started being bullish like 50% too early, or bearish 50% too early on XCN,
yeah.
but that's okay. It's better to leave some on the table than wait for the day that never comes.
I didn't love H bar also, according to JN Crypto. I didn't, and I gave it a 42-cent price target. Maybe it'll go higher than that. But, you know, pay attention to the actual words that come out of my mouth.
Yeah, H bar technology is A plus, but you have to
Yes.
factor in the inflation. You cannot just look at the chart. Because if you look at this chart right here, it's like, oh, this looks like looks like Chainlink. It looks like everything else. It's fine. But when you like overlay this with the market cap, which is the market cap, regardless of what the XRP army will tell you, is the true price of a coin. That is the true price of a coin. And what we look at when we overlay the market cap of HBAR with the price, what you're going to find is the market cap went to price discovery and almost got to parabolic 2618. That's all you expect out of a coin.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get to the 3618. But listen, I'm mostly out at the 2618. If we get to the 2618, I'm out.
I will admit, I did underestimate the effect that the XRP, the ISO narrative would have had on H bar. So you want to crucify me for that, by all means. Grab the nails and the wood and hang me on the cross, man.
H bar is going to be a bear market buy for me. It's going to be one of my top plays because the inflation is mostly done. And I love the I like the technology of H bar more than Solana.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer.
And I love Solana. If you want to crucify me, Solana. I had the wrong take on Solana. I did not.
Hey,
I was bearish on Solana at the bottom.
So I mean, I made a video, "Don't buy H bar, you stupid idiot," at the same time that that I was super bullish on Solana and had that was one of my top 5 bear market buys, and it went from $7 up to $260. So what do you want me? Sorry, man.
Yeah, I like the technology of H bar better than Solana. I like them both long term though, but I think that at this from bear market until now, Solana had better tokenomics than H bar. But moving forward, I think that H bar has better tokenomics.
Yeah, it does, for sure. So
All right. I think this has been a good episode from here. Any
Yeah.
closing remarks?
Let me just respond to one more comment about H bar. Yes, Alex, you did say that about H bar. Now you think it's a good coin? Question mark. If you watch my video that I made on my YouTube channel titled "Don't Buy H bar, You Stupid Idiot," what you will find is that I say that fundamentally I love H bar and it's going to be one of my top bear market buys. Okay, I'm done with that.
Someone
Go
said,
ahead.
"Can you chart Solnick?" I'll just tell you, we're at the bottom of the range and we're at the top of prior support. Every single time before we go higher, this has happened literally like clockwork. Some fool will sell the bottom. It happened when
Yeah.
we went from 4 million to 10 million. Somebody sold $50,000. So that happens every single time. And I'll tell you, out of partnerships that you possibly can have, I can think of two that are bigger. That's it. And we've already secured it. So I think history doesn't repeat, but it certainly looks like it rhymes. So there you go. That's my thoughts on that. And I'm very excited for what we have in store for Solnick. But as far as TA, we're just on the back test of the prior high and the current support.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? I will not message you. If you receive a message from me, it is someone from Pakistan or India.
Or Kakistan. Do not redeem.
Oh, or Pakistan.
Do not redeem. There is no Solnick airdrop. There is no there's no hee airdrop. If they say go over here and redeem here, what's going to happen is you're going to redeem their wallet into you're going to redeem your wallet into their wallet. That's what's going to happen. So for the love of God, do not redeem. We will never message you.
Do not redeem.
We love you. We'll be live again Wednesday and Friday. Hopefully with Alvarez this Friday, or excuse me, Friday. There is only Friday. It is Wednesday. My God. All right, guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.